Well, hello, everybody. It's Paul Feuerstein, editor-in-chief of Dentistry Today. And today we're going to be talking about DEXIS. And you'll say, DEXIS. Oh, yeah, we know that's that great X-ray sensor. I said, yeah, that's great, too. But do you know that they have a whole array of digital products and software? And they have an intraoral scanner, they have cone beam, they have all sorts of things. And what they've really done because of all this is they've created an integrated imaging platform that seamlessly brings all the data into one place. So, and you can do treatment planning and design surgical guides and all sorts of things. And on top of that, they brought AI in. So I'm here today with Jordan Reiss, who's the official Senior Director, Clinical Strategic Development at DEXIS. Jordan and I have crossed paths over many, many years. We've both been in the digital space forever. So hello again, Jordan. How are you?
Good to see you online and not on a trade show floor.
Yeah.
Other people, it's the other way usually. So,
So yeah, we've had many discussions when we were early adopters of cone beam and things like that, and early software. And so now working with the DEXIS group here, you have a lot of things to talk about. So I'm going to let you ride on this because there's so much information we want to cram into a short period of time, and we'll give you some hints on how to follow up on this later on. So why don't you start talking about what this? Just give a whole overview of what you're going to be talking about here.
yeah, sure. So, what we've got is, like you say, we're DEXIS. You know us for intraoral sensors and our 2D software. We're now needing to get the word out because we've got this software called DTX, and DTX unifies all of what we're doing. We have intraoral X-ray, extraoral X-ray, portable X-ray generators,
Oh yeah.
Nomad, the OP3D line, the iCats, and we purchased from Carestream Dental the intraoral scanner line back a few years ago, and really have done it up and put in some great software. But the secret sauce is that we unify all of this with this DTX software, and we make it smart, simple by enabling it each part of the process with AI. And that's what I want to talk about because I appreciate you allowing me to show this because
Yeah.
it's hard to explain.
Yeah. There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just so much to see. It's hard to believe, and then seeing is believing. So I'm really excited to be able to share what we're doing with this diagnostic confidence, productivity, smart simplicity. So before jumping with the 3D, I just wanted to show like the 2D workflow. We start with acquisition. We've got the DEXIS titanium or the IXS sensors, maybe use a Nomad or wall mounted, and then you organize these images, visualize the images, and then detect to get to diagnosis. Well, what we've done, you can see on the bottom there, is we've got direct capture, we automatically sort, we recognize the teeth, and we've got embedded AI diagnostic findings. So let me just show you this quickly. When we acquire images with our system or even drag and drop from others, it'll recognize the teeth in the images, auto-rotate, recognize the teeth numbers, and then sort them into a full mouth series mount that you can customize. So I love this, but let me not show you an animation. In this case, 33 images, cone cuts, taken at different angles. Even if these were from someone else's X-ray sensors, they'll bring them in here. You have to click that play button. The blue bar, as these are coming through in real time, are showing that there's 4, 3, and 2 findings. So it actually reads these on premise. It doesn't go up to the cloud and back. We're doing it with DTX and also in DEXIS. So here you can see that there is a apical lesion and another. Now, if I left click on this, on the right-hand side, you'll see it marks it. We can see that there's a follow-up. If I click on the other, you can see that these show up. But also in the upper right, we have this tooth chart where I can click and find on this one, caries, margin defect, and then I see this root canal defect, but let's say I don't believe it or I'm not so sure, I can click ignore or just right click so you can show conservative approach to all these findings where the AI helps out. So this red box that I draw up here on the right is to show that you have this tooth by tooth navigation. So having these findings, 6 approved focus areas, we'll call them, for patients 15 and older on both bite wings and periapicals is great. It's not replacing the dentist. It's not artificial intelligence. It's assisted.
I usually call this Jiminy Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket.
For those old enough to know who Jiminy Cricket is, he's on my shoulder, looking over my shoulder, saying, "Hey, look at that! Look at that! Look at that!"
That's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah, that's great. I like that because it is. It's a second opinion, and it's helping you just to sort of say, hey, I think the studies show on 5 seconds on average that people are looking at PAs
Yeah,
and things. Here's a little bit of help here. Now, what I really want to point out about this before jumping into 3D is that what this does is it allows patients to see this. So in this case here, you're just seeing boxes, but when we hover over in the software, it colors in these areas so the patient can understand. And it's the software pointing these out, not the dentist. So it gives some greater confidence to that the dentist has someone else there saying, hey, take a look at this root canal
yeah,
defect calculus. And it helps to get greater confidence and understanding. All right.
that's cool.
Yeah. Let me talk about a 3D integrated workflow. So with the 3D integrated workflow, we start with acquisition. We're really proud of our latest launches of the OP3D, EX, and LX. We've got in our intraoral scanner lineup the 3700, 3800, and 3800 wireless, and we can do direct capture. Now, after this, there's a lot of setup that occurs. And I want to show you down on the bottom that magic assist of all that our AI is doing in there to help you to visualize the different findings that you need. And we're going to focus in on the implant workflow, but you can go to the TMJ, endo, or airway space with tooth-by-tooth navigation so that you can get to a plan that meets your needs. So we fuse these together, we set the teeth up to get to implant planning, and then we can choose if we want to treat in-house or export. Send it to a printer, navigated surgery, freehand, patient engagement software, collaborate, and we allow this not to be data that's in our proprietary format, but open export with industry standard files. All right, so a lot of talk. Let me show. So acquire. With our intraoral scanners, I've sped this up 6 times. The point is we can acquire directly within the software. So the benefit is after we've done these steps to capture a scan, what's really great is that I can close this software out in the upper right, and it stores this data on every computer throughout the office. So this scan is now available. So if a staff member is scanning in an Op1 and the doctor's in the office, he can start to look or she can start to look right away at this scan. Similarly, this unification of hardware and software occurs with Panos and CBCT. So here we do capture, and there's our LX, and we click select. So here it says synchronize with the database, and then says proceed to the device. So the software and hardware are in unity, whether it's PAN or 3D. We have a very easy interface. Click on a tooth, and it goes right to a 5x5 on that tooth. Click on a lower jaw, or go all the way up to a 15x20 field of view. You could just click on the interface where you want to capture, making it easy for the staff. Low dose, high resolution, various patient sizes. You end up capturing your image. Now, previously, we recorded this video that I've sped up again about 5-6 times because the process without AI was to organize the orientation of the patient, redo a pano curve for both lower and upper, and then bring that to a thin slice, find the mental foramen, and begin to trace this nerve canal. It's a lot of work to be able to do because we want to make sure to avoid this, visualize it correctly, and then we can bring it up to that edentulous space to plan out an implant.
Right.
With DTX, it's a lot easier. In 2022, the FDA cleared our automatic, fully automated mandibular nerve tracing on CBCT scans. So that it comes in and it traces it for you so you're set up for success. And that's one of 6 things that this AI does. Detects landmarks, sets up TMJ, recognizes teeth, reorients the patient, upper and lower pan curves, and trace the nerve. Almost got it all in. So when we open up the patient and we look in the 3D, the nerve canal's there. Rather than these steps, we could delegate the setup of the pan or the crisp filters and make those automatic. So we can jump into TMJ, those yellow and red lines, the computer traced, so we can see where we are. And it's not limited to just TMJ, but we can also, with just 2 clicks, well, upper and lower right corners, get the airway to view. We have an endo workspace, so you can jump to those by clicking on the tooth. So really amazing
Yeah.
and super beneficial. Let me show you where we go with this. So we've got our intraoral scan and our CBCT scan. It's time to fuse these. It's time to move forward and have AI not be scary, but be an assistant in the office. So we get this CBCT scan, and then we have the intraoral scan. We click a button and it merges it. We click another button, I'll show you, and it sets up biodiverse teeth. We remove those roots and recreate that angle with implants. So it's helping us to do a crown down approach or prosthetic driven implant planning by fusing these over and making it easy. In the software, here we've got an intraoral scan. We click fuse with 3D X-ray. This is real time, not sped up. We click next, and it's going to run the AI Magic Assist. Now on the left-hand side, you'll see a red line on the CBCT showing where the surface data is. And on the right-hand side, you can see where that plane is, so we can verify that it is correct. From here, we can move forward to showing the patient their teeth in a way that they've never seen before, superimposed over anatomy that's hidden by soft tissue. Now, this is smart, but we get smarter in the software with something we call Smart Focus. So Smart Focus allows me to hover over a tooth, and it recognizes the tooth number. So I'm on tooth number 7. I just click on it. When I do, it takes me to a tooth-based workspace. I could see 7 and tooth number 7 here. It's brought up those last 2 PAs that were organized. Oh, Paul, I love that you're laughing, because this is so cool, right? The AI recognized the teeth in the 2D. It recognized it in the cone beam, and it's brought me down the long axis of the tooth in the pulp chamber, which now I can navigate tooth by tooth. Right, right. Remember when we were back with CBCT and looking at this, we couldn't imagine that this could exist during our lifetimes. But there it is. And now as I move distal, we can see there's
it's just cutting out a million steps here. I mean, it's like I'm looking at it, say, let me see this. Let me see number 7. Boom, it's there.
Right. And when you move from 2D to 3D, 2D is left to right on the patient's left and right to left on the patient's right. When we capture those intraoral images, cone beam is all left to right. So this makes this visualization a little bit easier and gives greater confidence for those that are new, but also shortens that time to jump in to look at the periodontal ligament space. So let me bring it all together with this case that Dr. Katya Archabot shared with me from La Jolla. We've got a 3800 scan and OP3D-LX, titanium 2 sensor images, and photography.
Photos.
We open up the patient and it loads the data. Now, I'm not going to go through the MPR images, which of course you should. I'll just jump to the 3D rendering for this. When we see the pano on the right is done, we rotate around. We can see an implant's been placed. The nerve canal is traced. We rotate to the other side. And the patient's here for the tooth in edentulous space number 30 to be replaced. So we click on that space and it takes us to that workspace. Periapical came up with the diagnostic findings of caries, bone loss. Oh, look, there's some calculus in that area.
Oh,
it marks them on the right and marks the tooth chart for us automatically. The intraoral scan was taken, we check for it, and we say, okay, line this up, AI, and it does. We say, AI, fuse this with the 3D X-ray, and we click next. Again, that process I just showed is there, which is great. We get that red line over where the intraoral scan is over the CBCT. We're going to take it one step further. So we verify that this is correct. And then from there, we can click finish. And at the top, give me a virtual tooth. Or we can extract and place virtual teeth. The AI recognized the teeth numbers in the intraoral scan too. And here, tooth number 30 is missing.
Oh,
so
God.
Magic Assist. And guess what it does? It recognizes a biodiverse tooth. So it looks at contralateral side, opposing occlusion, and creates this tooth. And interestingly enough, it also puts in a root because patients may feel more comfortable understanding a crown and root, but we can take every one of these and remove any portion of this. So now when I go over to plan this out and I click on that space of 30, the virtual crown is drawn, the surface scan is drawn, and I can click once, click twice, and it grabs one of 4,500 implant choices in here, full bodily movement. Or grabbing onto the lower portion, I could change out the length or width of that implant in that one. I can even add in abutments. And from here, I have a tool that helped me with treatment planning, but it's going to also help that patient to understand. There's not a lot of buttons all over this software. It's clean. It's done in a way that we consider this to be not just diagnostic, but a patient education tool. So I'm going to remove the visibility of some of the intraoral scans. I've got a photorealistic implant and nerve. And from here, I'm going to remove these, what we call ribbons with, the newer version. And I've got a full screen view of what I want to talk to the patient about. So with this, we are set up for success. And from here, in the latest version released just in September of 2024, 4.3, we have the option of also doing automated surgical templates, right? So let me show you this and what it looks like. That's what we were showing. We've got, in this case, we planned out a sleeve also. We can add in anchor pins. We can add in a surgical template. The automation recognized where that implant was placed, suggests in green the coverage we may want for this surgical template,
Yeah.
and click next. So it calculates this surgical template. We can put in inspection windows. We could put in a template label. In fact, when we have an integration with the practice management software, I don't need to type in DEXIS. That field would be filled in with the identification number from the practice management software and drag it on. So it automatically would be printed. Tooth or tooth and mucosa supported, changing out the punch size, including a rotation marker. We have all of these expert settings to make it so it's simple and easy. And this is what we're saying again as smart, simple, because we can look at this, and now when the dentist creates this or is ready on day of delivery, which may not be the same day, it could be, and they can come back in here and say, show me this surgical template that I'm generating and remove everything else from here. So I've got an idea of what was it that I was planning, last week or last month. They can see this and it helps them to better understand their case. So beautiful visualization, very powerful tools that are easy, and we keep delivering. We're offering choice. So here's the part that I sometimes, it's really great for the dentist and not so great for our salespeople.
Yeah.
We allow for just about anybody's intraoral sensors or pans or cephs to come in through Twain. You can drag and drop anybody's CBCT into this, and we can still run this AI. We can still run the AI on the 2D. We can bring in any STL or PLY file. Maybe there's one exception, who knows, but I don't think there are. And we could use those in this process. So it's really a bring your own device. Ours have some extra features in there, like implant contrast enhancement, but to get you through this end-to-end implant workflow and getting to 4, where you choose how to place freehand, navigated, or automated surgical guide creation, and sending that out to partners like SprintRay. You can choose how to restore and how to deliver. So we offer really a unique way to make this very easy for our clinicians to move closer towards us in DEXIS, hopefully select our products, but not be forced to select everything from us. And that's unique about DTX.
Well, the word keep coming up, magic, as you were working through here. I mean, what you've just done is you've just given about a 6-hour course on implant planning surgical guides in less than about 10 minutes, and it made sense. I mean, the visuals are fantastic for me as a dentist. For the patient, as you've been saying, it's just they're seeing everything, and you can probably pick and choose what you want to show the patient, but they get it. You're seeing this is the implant, this is where the crown goes, this is where the things go, this is what we're going to do. Wow. I mean, this DTX equals WOW for me.
Well, there is so much more to see.
Oh, I'm sure.
I would love it that the viewers ask to see the DEXIS rep. so they can actually show them and they can see it in their software, or they can actually import their own cone beam or intraoral scan and say,
That's
show me how it
cool.
works with my stuff, because they can. It's that easy. So I just really want the word out there that we've got something that is working and is pretty awesome, and it's really worth taking an extra look at.
No, and then the big point you made was that you don't have to say, "Oh, I have to buy all new equipment after all DEXIS." I mean, you'd like them to, but
Right. Right. We would like them to, but they don't need to,
no,
right?
no, no. It's
We
agnostic, I
love
guess.
our, yeah.
It's
So I don't know if you know this, but in the United States, we can say, looking at the market share data, we're #1 in the categories of CBCT, intraoral sensors, and portable X-rays. We haven't
right.
made it there with intraoral scanners yet, but that is, we'll move up there. But that's pretty impressive when you think about that. And it's, I think, because we offer great products, but this choice, this ability to support it in a nice and easy way that's not forced upon a what do they call it? A walled garden. It's a really nice system that makes it much easier, and you can implement slowly across time. A lot of these features, like the direct capture of intraoral scanning, the AI findings in 2D, are available in our DEXIS 10 software too. So we're not moving away from that. We're still honoring our more than 60,000 users on that platform.
Yeah, and so I think what we've done here is expanded this word DEXIS to DEXIS. I mean, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't even know all of these different pieces of the puzzle here. So, I guess with some further information that you obviously have some website areas that you can direct people to.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
simple. That's
so
very simple, I guess.
Yeah, so it's dexis.com, and we even have a chat window in there where you can reach someone as soon as you bring it up. But also on social media, we've got a lot of info and a lot of great things to look at. So that would be at Dexis Imaging or hashtag Dexis Imaging, all one word. And there's some great stuff there. But those are the best ways.
Well, I think this is an eye opener to any dentist who's even the experts out there looking at this will go, you mean I just go like you just stare at it and they get there's number seven. I mean it's almost that simple. Wow, I'm really this has been great. I mean I saw DTX when it first was launched and it was amazing, but this is nuts with the AI and everything else going on and all the just there's no steps. I mean you have to click on this and this will happen, click on this and this will happen. I think that's gone. It's intuitive. I guess the word intuitive, maybe that's the word.
Yeah, we're saying smart, simple, but intuitive is the other word that was really up there when we're this. And you're right. We've been updating DTX, excuse me, 2 times a year on average, even more sometimes each year. And it's really very different than just a short while ago. Our goal isn't just for the dentist, it's actually for the whole team, because we
Sure.
realize, who's scanning and who's acquiring and who's doing a lot of these filing steps. So we've done a lot of voice of customer, reaching out to various constituents within an office, various specialists, labs, DSOs, to really get their input to make this so it's working very well. And what you'll hopefully see in the future with us as we come up with more updates is even bringing these workflows so there's even less steps than there are today. I've seen some of the things we're working on, and it's amazing what's coming. It's such an exciting time to be in
It
dentistry
is.
with
Well,
this. It's amazing how fast this has gone in just the shortest period of time.
well, to all my viewers out here, I will not apologize that we went longer than usual because this was necessary to go through all this. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll see the rest later on." I mean, this was so. I think this was amazing. I'm just thrilled with this thing, Jordan. I mean, you've been at the front end of everything before, and now you're way ahead of everybody.
It's really great. Now, there's a lot of great AI companies out there that
Sure.
are doing this in the cloud. And, I want to honor all of those, because as everybody does this, it makes the rest of dentistry want to move forward. And we all have to just continue to progress and make it easier and easier, but also open up so that you're not locked into one system. You can work through changes that occur in the market or in your office to be accommodating for times like COVID, where there were great challenges, and I think we're coming out of that right now with this great assisted intelligence and cloud productivity that's happening, and some really exciting stuff. So
Well, to that point, at the trade shows, I have a good vision of the trade shows, and I'll see, let's say, at your booth, and I'll see someone from a different company staring and saying, "Hmm, we should be able to do that too. It's a great horse race, but the winner is us. We're the winners. The patients are the winners. We're the winners because everybody's working to get that better, that better. So this has just been great, Jordan. I don't want to keep going. So let's just cut it right now and say thanks so much for all this time, all this information, and you can get a hold of us. It's easy at the magazine. I can direct you to Jordan, but again, DEXIS.com and the social media platforms would be just great. So thanks so much, Jordan. Good seeing you again. Anyway.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.